Hi everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Talking Cardboard. My name is Cory, and on today's episode, we talk about what is the board gaming hobby like for new gamers today. So to get started, how this topic first came to mind was I was thinking back to 10 years ago when I first got into the board gaming hobby, and my first initial question that I thought of to myself was, how overwhelming was it for me when I first started? And thinking back, it wasn't too overwhelming, to be real honest. 10 years ago, there wasn't nearly as many games as there are today, with thousands of new titles coming out each and every year. That's at least 10,000 to 20,000 new games over the course of the last 10 years, in my estimation. And that could be on the low side. I remember getting my first start. I was completely lost at where to even look. I tried my friendly local game stores to begin with, to look for titles such as the first title I found, which was Munchkin, which completely blew my mind the first time I saw Munchkin. I had never seen any game like it or played any game like it. Before then, it was just the normal Monopoly or poker card games, and just little games like that. But after finding Munchkin and playing it multiple times almost every night with friends in college, I found a new love for the modern board gaming hobby that we know and love today. Like I said, I went to friendly local game stores and looked every which way for different kinds of games, and I was pretty well limited with my selection. I went to college in a very small town. They had a mall in that town that had a board gaming store that didn't have a whole lot other than Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon cards, obviously the major trading card games. And I remember seeing I believe like Catan was there, and then Munchkin as well. So they didn't have a huge selection other than the trading card games and some comic books and certain things, that sort of thing. When I saw Munchkin, I immediately asked what it was. I asked the person behind the counter, should I get Munchkin or should I get this game called Killer Bunnies? Because I believe Killer Bunnies was around at the time too. And lo and behold, they had led me toward buying Munchkin. I ended up buying most of the expansions for it right away as soon as they came out. And I loved that game for at least the first 6 to 8 months while I was in the hobby. So that was my initial start. I didn't know of BoardGameGeek.com. I hadn't heard of anything like that. I was almost trekking my own path and venturing out into this unknown world on my own. And my first question to you guys, and if you can leave it in the comments below, is how did you get your start into this board gaming hobby, especially nowadays with as many titles as there are? Did you hear through friends or through coworkers or another source about BoardGameGeek.com to get your initial start? Venturing off a little further into the future, I finally stumbled upon Dice Tower videos. So the Dice Tower, obviously a big name in the board game industry for board game reviews and content, huge content creators on YouTube. I stumbled across Tom Vassell on the Dice Tower and started watching some of his videos and recommendations, and eventually through the grapevine and some Google searches, I did eventually find BoardGameGeek.com, which I immediately started searching the top 100 list and trying to pick up as many titles as I could out of that top 100 games. So after Munchkin, I picked up Dominion and then Stone Age, and I believe the game after that was Race for the Galaxy. So I jumped into some real heavier territory immediately after Dominion and Stone Age. But I found this new love for the hobby and for the modern game style of games. Everywhere, I wanted to get my hands on all these different mechanisms, and each new mechanism that I found in a game was obviously new and exciting to me. I had never heard or played or anything like these games. Obviously, Dominion was a deck builder. Came out in 2009, back when I first started getting heavily involved in this hobby. So deck building was a brand new thing to me. I knew of deck building before bringing the deck to the table, such as games like Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh, obviously other trading card games as well, but I had never seen the concept done, and I don't think most people had before Dominion, where you build your deck as you go through the game. And I thought that was very unique, very cool. It was definitely a groundbreaker for its time. Then I jumped into something called worker placement, which was another genre that I still love to this day, and that was with Stone Age. Stone Age is a great worker placement game. I still play it with friends, family, and my wife to this day. It's a fantastic game. And then I jumped right into Race for the Galaxy because that was new and exciting too, where you choose, well, with 2 players, you choose 2 actions, but with more than 2 players, you choose 1 action that you want to be your main action. And if you are the only person who chose that action, you get an enhanced ability above and beyond what the others get, but the others still get to piggyback off of that as well. Kind of like First Seen in Puerto Rico, which is another game, which is actually a game I still haven't gotten to the table today, but Race for the Galaxy was great for that. So the second question for you guys is, what game first got you into the hobby, or what 2 games first got you excited in the hobby, and did you immediately become involved and entrenched in this whole idea of games having different mechanisms? Does that excite you, or was it the theme of the game that pulled you in, or was it hearsay, what your friends were telling you, or another game that you had tried that you loved so much that you ran out and bought a copy for yourself? And another topic I wanted to bring up is, how do you decide what is your next game to buy? Is it difficult to choose the next game for you to buy? Because these games are expensive. It isn't cheap. To get a collection took me many years to build it up over time. So how do you decide when your next valuable purchase, or what the next valuable purchase is in a game that you choose to buy? Is it from friends' suggestions? Is it from watching review videos like what Talking Cardboard here does, or other reviewers online do? Do you hold those suggestions very near and dear to your heart and go out and trust these content creators to purchase a particular game? Or does it take multiple opinions from reviewers on YouTube or online before you decide to purchase that game? Or just how do you go about deciding when or what to purchase that next game? That kind of leads into another side topic too, is how big or how fast do you want to build your collection? I know when I was first brand new to the hobby, I really made it a point that I wanted a collection like Tom Vassell, or like watching other members on the Dice Tower. You saw the shelf behind them with all these games, and I thought, not only did it look really cool, but if I love games like Munchkin and Dominion and Stone Age and Race for the Galaxy, what other games are out there that I could build my collection and really have this plethora of decisions of different games I can choose for different game nights with family or friends? Which, after doing more research, it eventually brought me into games like Shadows over Camelot and Pandemic and other cooperative games. So cooperative games at the time was kind of a brand new concept as well. There weren't a whole lot of games on the market that were fully cooperative. And I know I loved Shadows over Camelot because it had that traitor mechanism. You never knew who was the traitor, or if there was a traitor amongst us that was sabotaging the overall mission. So I found that really cool. Pandemic was a very puzzly, thinky game that was fully cooperative as well. I never got around to playing Battlestar Galactica, and I still haven't played Battlestar Galactica to this day, but I know that was very similar to Shadows over Camelot with that traitor mechanism as well. Kind of like Dead of Winter 2, which is a little bit newer of a title that has that traitor mechanic as well in a cooperative game. And the last topic I wanted to discuss on this video briefly is how I fit into being a noob in the gaming hobby still, and that's the fact that I've only been to one small gaming convention in the 10 years I've been fully invested in this hobby. Only one, and it was a small convention called Con of the North here in Minnesota. I went there one year with my brother. It's been at least 4 or 5 years now since we've been, and we played a lot of games with a lot of great people, found some nice new titles to us. I know I ended up buying Formula D after that convention for kind of naming a specific game that I really fell in love with at that convention. But that was a smaller convention. They had some publishers or some new designers there showing off their games, but not a ton. They had a game room that the Undead Viking, who is also from Minnesota, he started his own thing in a separate room where you could get together with fellow gamers and just have fun playing games. And we stayed in there most of the time playing games with a lot of fun people, and we had a great time. But having said that, I am brand new to any other large conventions that are put on in the world. Finally, the wait is over, because as the Talking Cardboard crew are actually going to our first large, medium to large style convention this year at PAX Unplugged in Philadelphia. So we are biting the bullet. We are saving up our money, getting everything into gear. I know we're planning on designing some t-shirts and some sweatshirts to wear while we're there with our Talking Cardboard logo on it, and actually make a solid presence for the first time since the Talking Cardboard crew first got together, which has been about a year now. So we are really looking forward to that, and we think it'll be a great time. We've heard some great things about PAX Unplugged. I know it's not the largest of conventions, but it'll feel extremely large to us, and we're just looking forward to finally having a presence for the first time at one of these conventions. We'll bring cameras around, we'll document the whole thing, we'll show that on our channel, hopefully do some interviews if people are willing to talk to us. We don't know what to expect. Honestly, like I said, this is our first large convention that we are going to. And yeah, we don't know what to fully expect, to be real honest. But having said that, we are extremely excited nonetheless to see how these conventions are run, to meet new people. We're not expecting to meet many people or any people that have watched our content online, because we aren't that large quite yet, but we are definitely looking to get there and to meet new people, to see what they have to say, to learn from other people that have been in the hobby and in the industry longer than what I've been around and seeing, and just to learn as much information as we can and bring it all to you online. I think we'll have just as much fun learning new information and creating the content as we will meeting new people and playing games, and maybe playtesting some of those new games that aren't being released for a while. We're just looking forward to the whole experience. The food, just getting out of the state, getting a hotel together and experiencing that full convention life for the entire weekend. We're getting a full convention pass for PAX Unplugged. We're not going to skip a day. We are giving it we're giving it our full attention for the entire time. So that being said, if any of you will be at PAX Unplugged this year, make sure you keep an eye out for us. Come up and say hi and talk to us about some of your experiences. Or if you are a newer gamer to the hobby, come up and talk to us as well. Or leave comments below in this video, because I would honestly, wholeheartedly love to hear your opinions on how it feels nowadays to be more of a newer gamer in this hobby, especially the way it is nowadays compared to how it was back 10 years ago. So that's all I've got for you all today in today's video. I hope you all enjoyed, and if I don't hear from you in the comments, maybe we will see and hear from you all at PAX Unplugged this winter. You all have a great day.